Have you ever just sat there and realized that your own mind is like the loudest, busiest place on earth? You know what I mean, right? Just a constant storm of chatter and notifications and ideas and worries that just refuse to shut up. Well, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. So today, we're going to dive into this modern struggle for focus and see if we can find a path back to a quiet mind. Okay, so before we can even think about finding quiet, we have to get real about the noise. And this isn't some high-level philosophical thing. For so many of us, it's a real personal battle we're fighting inside our own heads every single day. I mean, just look at this quote. It's from a Reddit post that just blew up because thousands of people read it and thought, yes, that's it, that's me. It's so raw and honest, and it just nails that feeling of being a passenger in your own brain, you know? Just getting swept away by this current of chaos that you can't seem to control. It's like being lost in your own head. And what's really fascinating is how this person diagnosed their own struggle. Just look at this list they made. This isn't just about getting distracted by Instagram. It's so much deeper. We're talking about fear, anxiety, past trauma, feeling all tangled up with your own ego. This is the real root of all that noise. So, if the problem goes that deep, how on earth did the outside world get so incredibly good at poking at it? I mean, did we all just sign up for this? Well, according to Cal Newport, the author of Digital Minimalism, the answer is a big, fat no. We didn't choose this. We just kinda stumbled backward into it, one tiny, seemingly innocent tech update at a time. Let's just take a quick trip back in time. In 2004, Facebook was just this quirky thing for college kids, a curiosity. By 2007, Steve Jobs was literally bragging that the iPhone was an amazing iPod that could also make phone calls. But then something shifted in 2009, the like button. It seems so simple, right? But it wasn't just feedback. It was this little hit of unpredictable social approval, a little dopamine treat, delivered on their schedule, not ours. And that one small change started this whole avalanche, turning these simple tools into machines designed to capture our attention, no matter the cost. And this, right here, this is the core of the problem. Nobody's arguing that our phones aren't useful. Of course they are. The real issue, the thing that makes us all feel so anxious, is the loss of autonomy. That creeping feeling that we're no longer in control of our own time and, more importantly, our own attention. So if we want to get that control back, we have to understand what we're up against. And let's be clear, this is not just a personal failing or a lack of willpower. Oh no, we are facing a system that was deliberately built to keep us coming back for more. So let's pull back the curtain and take a look at the attention economy. This is Tristan Harris. He used to be a design ethicist inside Google, so he saw exactly how the sausage was made. And when he holds up a smartphone and calls it a slot machine, he's giving us the perfect metaphor. Suddenly, it's not a harmless tool anymore. It's a gambling device, and the jackpot is our attention. So how exactly does this work? Well, you know that pull to refresh motion we all do 100 times a day? That's the new slot machine lever. You pull it, and you might get a juicy notification, a great email, or you might get absolutely nothing. That complete unpredictability creates something psychologists call intermittent variable rewards, and it is one of the most addictive forces known to man. It hijacks your brain's pleasure center, and it makes you want to pull that lever again and again and again. Comedian Bill Maher took that comparison and just ran with it. He basically said, look, we need to stop thinking of these tech billionaires as benevolent geniuses and start seeing them for what they are. In this attention game, they're basically tobacco farmers in t-shirts. It's a really harsh take, but it really forces you to grapple with just how serious this is. And here's the final punch. It's not just about our time or our focus anymore. The battle, as Maher sees it, is for something way, way deeper. It's a fight for our ability to be present, to think deeply, to have real connections. You know, the very essence of what makes life worth living. Okay, that was a little bleak, but here's the good news. The story doesn't end there, not even close. Just understanding the game we're all caught in is the first and most powerful step toward changing the rules. So now we're going to pivot. We're moving away from the crisis and toward the solution. There is a way out of this. Over 150 years ago, Henry David Thoreau looked at the world around him and saw people feeling trapped by the pressures of their time, leading them into this state of quiet desperation. I mean, does that not sound just a little bit familiar? But here's the part people don't always quote. Right after that famous line, Thoreau gives us this incredible shot of hope. He's reminding us that we always have a choice. It is never, ever too late to change course, to push back against the noise, and to take your life back. So, how do we actually do it? Well, Cal Newport has a name for it: digital minimalism. And look, this is not about hating technology and moving to a cabin in the woods. It's about flipping the script entirely. Instead of just letting every new app into your life, you start with what you value most, your deep values. And then, and only then, you ask, okay, which of these tools actually helps me with that? You go from being a mindless consumer to being radically intentional. Okay, so a philosophy is great, but we need some practical tools, right? The actual how-to. So what we've done is combine the best ideas from digital minimalism with all that incredible wisdom from the Reddit community to build a kind of hero's toolkit for reclaiming your mind. The big one from Newport's book is this thing called the digital declutter. It's a really clear 3-step plan. Step 1, you take a 30-day break from all the non-essential tech in your life. It's like a hard reset for your brain. Step 2, during that break, you actively go out and find real-world things that you've been missing. Hobbies, long walks, whatever. And step 3, and this is the most important part, at the end of the 30 days, you reintroduce technology, but with extreme prejudice. You have to ask of every single app, does this thing truly make my life significantly better? If the answer isn't a clear hell yes, it doesn't come. What I love is how well these different approaches fit together. You can see it in this table. Digital minimalism gives us the big structural external changes, right, like the declutter. But the Reddit community provides the other half of the equation, the equally important internal work. Things like mindfulness and journaling. And also, this came up a lot, recognizing when that internal noise might actually be a symptom of something like undiagnosed ADHD. The point is, you really need both. You need to change your world on the outside, and you need to do the work on the inside. Let's just spend a second on that internal work, because it's so powerful. One person on Reddit shared this amazing metaphor. Imagine your mind is a train station. Your thoughts are just trains, constantly coming and going. The secret is realizing you don't have to get on every single train. You can just stand on the platform and watch them go by. Others talked about journaling to get those swirling thoughts out of their heads, or just going outside to air out your brain. But the most critical insight is this: you are not your thoughts. You are the one who is aware of your thoughts. And really, that's what this all comes down to. The fight for our attention is real, and the stakes couldn't be higher. But the path to a quieter mind, it's there. It's not easy, but it is clear. It means changing our relationship with technology on the outside and learning how to be the calm observer of the noise on the inside. So the final question isn't really whether you can do this. It's, what would you do if you did? What would you create? Who would you become? What incredible things would you do with a quiet mind?